I'm Amy. Welcome to the Oakland Zoo.
Thanks, Amy. Todd.
We've been waiting for you. Over here, in the back, all the grease from making French fries and onion rings for all of our guests.
I've not seen one of these before, Amy. This is interesting.
Yeah, it's disgusting, and we really don't know what to do with it. We don't want it to go back into the sewer system.
Yuck, that's not my French fries. That's no good. Well, time for a little bit of research. Figure out what to do with this grease. I'm at the San Francisco Water Treatment Plant. After a little bit of research, I found out that their program actually collects fat and grease from restaurants. So I'm here to see what they do. Carrie, I'm doing research on what happens with grease and fats from restaurants.
A lot of that oil ends up down the drain, and we're working to prevent that. Let me show you our transfer station, but you're going to need this hard hat.
Okay. Whoa, look at all these vats. What's all this?
It's a lot of oil. Restaurants can donate their oil, and we pick it up usually monthly. Comes back here, our trucks report back here, and they unload.
And so what are they doing? They're pulling out all the fat they collected from the cafe or for the restaurant.
Exactly.
And they're transferring it here. And this is where it's all kind of mixed up and sloppy.
Yeah, it's about 250 gallons they're pulling off the truck today. We're going to be at a capacity to handle about 50,000 gallons a month by the end of this year. And these are settling tanks that allow the oil to separate from the food particles so that we can collect the good oil on top.
The better grease floats to the top. The solids settle to the bottom. And then the solids go off to be basically food for your bugs, your microorganisms.
Exactly.
So what happens next?
Well, let's put you to work. We need to empty these totes into these drums to get them started to settle.
All right, let's go. Oh, this is slimy. Ooh. So I just pour this in there?
Yeah. This is pretty much all good oil.
So this is going to become biofuel. That's really great. Now, this one doesn't look as good. You can see it's a little cloudier.
Exactly.
This is some definite nasty grease here. So, Carrie, let's go see what happens to that bad grease.
This is an access point to our digesters. So that marginal grease that won't make good biodiesel, it will run this plant. Because we can inject that marginal grease into the digesters, and the microorganisms will digest that and literally produce methane gas, which runs this plant.
The microorganisms or the bugs are eating that fat.
And farting it out, essentially.
Farting it out. They're making gas to power up this plant.
Yeah, to run this plant.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And Carrie, thank you. I had a wonderful time. Now I'm off to go watch the good fat, the good grease being turned into biofuel. Patrick, I just came from San Francisco, where the city apparently collects fat and grease from restaurants. And they said that the good grease comes due to be made into biodiesel, and I was hoping you could tell me about what you do here.
Absolutely. Let's go. Here's our truck.
Once you pump it out of the pump truck, what happens next?
Well, it comes over to these settling tanks to get settled and dried, and then it goes into our processing room to be turned into biodiesel.
What is this right here I'm seeing?
This is our processor. Our waste cooking oil comes in through this pipe, and then our methanol and our methyl oxide come through these two pipes into this reactor here. It is then mixed in the reactor until the reaction's done and it's turned into biodiesel.
So what you're basically saying is you're mixing the methanol and methyl oxide with the fat, and over time it becomes biodiesel.
That's correct. It's a chemical reaction.
What happens next?
After the reaction's done in the reactor, we bring it back into the processor room for a final wash and polish. Then we pump it into our storage tanks right here.
Whoa, those are huge. You have two of them. How many gallons inside?
30,000 gallons each, Todd.
30,000 gallons. We got 60,000 gallons of biofuel. French fries turned into diesel fuel right there. Thanks for the tour.
All right,
thanks,
good
Patrick.
luck.
Say, are you taking me out to the diner?
I am.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay, our grease trap's right this way. Thank you for finding them.
Amy, thanks for giving us a call. I've had a great day. Things have come full circle. I followed the grease, saw it turn into biofuel. Now I'm going to fill up this rig.
1 bushel of soybeans can produce 1.4 gallons of biodiesel.
That's enough to drive across Rhode Island. And that's wicked smart.
So we all know where the major oil-producing countries are, but the future of transportation fuel might be in soybeans. So which country is poised to be the Saudi Arabia of soy? The U.S. is the biggest producer, but who is the second biggest? That's your G-Quiz. Spin your globes and good luck. Coming up, the grass is always greener.